Hello, welcome back to Faces of Truth. I'm Alexander McCauley. We're attempting to help America think again. Over the last few hours, I've received a few comments that no, Russia has not gotten out of socialism, but they have lowered the volume on dictatorship. They have. I will have to say that they have gotten a few principles of the free market in. There are businesses that, though regulated by government like ours, are not totally run by the government. Government regulation on business shouldn't occur at all. Government regulation should be left to the free market. However, I'm getting off my point. I will put together an episode on that topic later. My point is that Democrats have a lot more in common with socialist dictatorships than Republicans do. Neocons have a lot more in common with socialist dictatorships than good, strong conservatives do. Democrats rely more on cheating in elections. Well, let me take that back. Democrats rely entirely on cheating in elections, whereas Republicans that I know of have tried to be as fair as possible and have more often than not been bitten in the rear end because of it. Conservatives as well. Neocons may cheat here and there. I'm talking about the good people who want representatives and executives that actually represent them and protect their rights. I hearken back to the election of 2012. I was serving as a delegate for this for the county of Taney in Missouri. We were allowed to speak during the county caucus. I went up to, my slate went up to district. We were allowed to speak there. I gave some scathing remarks about the impolitic cruelty of bombing cities overseas back into the Stone Age because our intelligence agencies made the excuse that they were part of terrorist operations. I also made some pretty good points about the people not being stewards of land owned by the government. The only person they are stewards to is God Himself in our nation. Then came state. At state, they had police guarding the doors. They took out one whole county because they had elected all Ron Paul delegates. They marginalized the rest of our counties. Especially the ones that favored Ron Paul. And those of us who favored Ron Paul, we had leaders who shifted our vote over to Rick Santorum, who had dropped out of the race that very day, just before, well, no, mid-convention. He put a transmission out to all of his delegates nationwide that he would have to drop out due to family conditions. Not that I was not for Rick Santorum at all, but he threw his entire vote to Mitt Romney, who happens to be a leftist in conservative clothing. He's proven himself that even as senator in Utah. He's betrayed his constituents. And, well, let's quit picking on Mitt Romney for right now. I'm going to get a lot of hate comments for that one. But he is a bad egg. So, when Ron Paul was marginalized on the state level, next level was national. I didn't go to national. One, because I didn't have the budget to get all the way out to the convention. Two, because we were betrayed at the state convention, and I knew that the betrayal was going to get deeper on the part of the neoconservatives. The neoconservatives at the national convention paid the bus drivers for the Ron Paul delegates to drive them all the way to the edge of town, and then they got back after the rules were cast, after the rules were made for the convention. The rules shut them out entirely. Then the votes came. Once again, anyone that spoke up for conservative principles during the Republican National Convention, RNC, were silenced by force. Only those things that were considered acceptable, supporting Bush-era policies, were accepted on the floor. And we ended up with a platform, once again, that mirrored Democratic principles. Democrat platform, I should say. Why? Because we were held to the Bush standard, and they didn't want us to be held to the Constitution. The Bushes, no matter how you look at it, are Democrats in Republican clothing. We have been being betrayed over the last 32 years by Democrats and Republicans. I should say neocons. Because there are some conservative Republicans out there that do hold the Constitution as the supreme law of the land, and that we should live up to it as people, and that it is set up to protect us from our government, but they are never allowed to be elected. Everything is rigged against those candidates. However, if we as people stand up against these cheats, politics is a game. And the neocons and the Democrats cheat at it. They don't allow fair competition. We need to get up and we need to publish this far and wide so that we can get people up and to show legal resistance at the polls, casting their votes for those who will protect them, not those who will uphold the global agenda. Thank you very much for your for watching. We try to get these out once a week. This week I've been pretty prolific because, well, it's been a long time since I've done anything. Go ahead and like, subscribe, and share if you enjoyed the presentation. Also, comment. Feedback is appreciated. Thank you.